Hello, this is Vance, and this is Tuesday, September the 8th, 2015. These are the CL trades for today using the slow hand method for price action. I've been around for a number of months. Won't get into where I've been. Had a couple of health problems while in an operation on my hand, but that's beside the point. I'm just going to get right into it. I might be a little bit rusty, and I hope you forgive me for any misspeaking or dragging on too long, but I'll try to keep this a little short. Try to show you what I saw today. Been a lot of changes over the last few months, particularly with the price of oil, and we've seen the prices kind of dipped below the $50 mark, and we've been trading between $50 and or like low 40s, high 50s over the course of the last few weeks. And there's a number of reasons for it. I won't get into them all this today, but suffice to say that the reason I trade the CL in the first place is it acts like a currency. It's like a currency. It's also a commodity. It's really a store of value, so it adds value to certain companies, and the entire world uses it, or countries, I mean, and the entire world uses it. So because of that, it really acts not only as a currency, but also acts as a store of value as well as a commodity because it's being used up. And really right now, the reason the price of oil is lower, part of it is because of the strength of the U.S. dollar, part of it is because of softness in China, and the perceived weakening in the value of that particular commodity. Plus, a lot of areas in the world, high-cost producers seem to be is more expensive. The finding of shale oil and development of shale oil in the U.S., whereas it has produced a lot a short-term oversupply of crude oil, and no cutbacks in the Middle East. At least OPEC countries are continuing to produce at the same levels, so there's no real restriction bottleneck there. The thought that Iran is going to bring on more production over the course of the next few months because of no more embargo, because working out of the nuclear deal and so forth. So there's a number of reasons that are kind of inspiring. Whether or not they're really valid in the long term, I mean, we just know that the price of oil is below $50. And there are a number of places that have shut down in Canada as well as the U.S. There's no further drilling because that shale oil is expensive oil. It costs more than $50 a barrel to pull it out of the ground. And in the short term, so when that oil becomes dear, they'll only gear up production in those areas when the price of oil makes it economically feasible to do so over the longer term. And with a kind of a rolling off of the price, so such a significant amount, I don't know if that's really going to take place. But that's the macroeconomic view. Short term is still the same thing. We have volatility. I mean, the price of oil is going to move between $1.50 and $2 a day. Typically, what it does, whether it's up or whether it's down. On the rare occasion, it's more than that, but more likely it's going to trade between a certain range. Longer-term trends, of course, for long-term traders, we're short-term traders. And so by looking at price action in the short term and the 800-tick chart, we can try to figure out and pick up those setups that seem most attractive. In the flowing method for price action, we're looking at 8 to 10 a day. The first step is to look at second entries. Really what's the market telling is attempting to do something twice and then just doing the opposite. And that's basically a reversal, but a second entry is based on the same thing. A market attempts to go up or down on two occasions, and if you trade with trend, you can see those second entries. So I marked some of them off. Let's get right to it. I'll try to keep this fairly short. I mean, and again, I apologize if I'm not really coherent because I haven't done this in a little while. So I'll try to make it do it as well as I can. This is overnight price. Now I've marked this on the chart I haven't been around for a while. The red line down here is the overnight low, or the daily low, and this is the daily high, is the green. And as you can see, the price of oil got up to, it was a low of 44.16 last night, or 44.14. And that was the overnight, and it got to a high as 46.41 today. Now, again, so you can see that's just basically roughly $2. When price opened yesterday, unless there was Labor Day, you can see that there was a run up just after 8 o'clock. Price peaked out there originally and then started selling off. This is really near the open at 9 o'clock. This is 8. Somewhere in this neighborhood here is the open. Let me just kind of put this thing in here. You see this is 9 o'clock is right here, and price fell off here from 9 o'clock. So let's take a look at that first setup. Let's take a look at that first trade. So I'll try to go through these. Price made this new high, double topped right here, these two, double bottom. So if you recall the rules as far as the tight trading range, this looks like it's forming to be a trading range. This is the bottom right here. As you can see, price visited it twice, top up here. So if say this is a loose trading range, price moves up, it moves back down here. You can see that this price moved back to a bit of a trap. It looks like it might go to this other side, but this is just before the open. Price gets to this top, and this turns out to be a trap right here. So price moves up, pulls back, tries to move up again, and immediately fails. So you can see that this is a failed second entry long. This is off this bar right here. That really took into a second entry short. Broke the trend channel. It's you can see this turnaround because we had this capitulation over this area. And if you can get into this, if you can limit in up here, that was a decent trade right at the open. So there's a couple of reasons to take it, but then it's a pretty aggressive trade. You've got room to get out of the bottom. You can see you never know it's going to collapse like this, but it does. We have pullback. Again, we have this overlap in this area. Now, this is a second entry long right here, but I wasn't really overly keen on that thing because we've had some weakness through this area, and we really haven't a break of this channel, and we haven't had really a move down. So you kind of expect there's going to be a test to a new low, and so I'm looking for that now. Price moves up this area. This is here's a second entry short. This is failed second entry short right here. First entry, second entry short. Not going down here, so that's not it. We have a strong bar out of here, but then you have to look at this. These are overlapping. Again, price pulls back, attempts to go up the first time. It fails down to here. Tries to go up the second time. You see this long stem here? So this is two failures. First time, second time. Now this is a really long bar here, when it closes. If you wait to the close, it doesn't afford you a lot of room to get out. So once you get this one bar here and this second failure right here, you might limit in here as long as your stop is above this right here. So again, I marked this in green. It gave you room to get out. Price comes up the first time, second time, almost a third failure, and you can see that again, capitulation, limit in here. Now you can't get it above this one, but if you try to limit above this bar, it's an L. Brooks move. If you try to limit or sell right at this above this bar, you might limit in. Then of course you've got room to get out. Now you can see when it gets down to this double bottom here, this bottom here, and this double bottom, this first bottom, second double bottom. You can see there's hesitation and almost looks like it turned around, but then it failed off further. And this is the second leg of the measured move. So price makes a new high, goes to this low, pulls back again, and then you could say that this was either this one or maybe even this one to be like this one here. At least you have kind of a false turnaround here, I suppose, more than anything else. And price sells off. So it sells off to this area. Now, now we've got kind of established channel. Price is weak through this area. We have some capitulation. We got prices overlapping here. It tries to go a little lower, but as you can see, it's slowing down. Instead of having it really rocket off here, it's kind of slowing down, tries to go slowing down a little bit more, and then we have this turnaround. So again, this is a second entry long right here. But to take that long, even after this, we don't know, is it going to come down and retest the overnight, which could be a reasonable target where the open was or the overnight low. Price comes down here, breaks in the other direction. First failure back, second failure back to this area. This is a pretty strong bar. I marked this one in green. We've already had a break of this trend channel. It's a strong bar. It only affords you the 15 ticks if you get in. So it's kind of aggressive. It's kind of close to this top, but I'm thinking more along the lines that you might be in this area. But again, it's a pretty aggressive trade. Price moves up here. You have the first failure back, second failure. So you get two failures back to the EMA, to this trend channel. And now this looks like a better area to get in right here. Now, it does retest this area. So what was formerly resistance is now acting as support. And again, you don't know how far this is going to go, but it really rockets right up here. And there's really no place to get it. Even though you got first pullback, second pullback here, I didn't really like that one. We're close to these tops here, and this is where we had capitulation for the morning, but it still has legs, moves up hard. I was surprised that it did move up higher. It makes a new high, pulls back twice, first pullback, second pullback, another gain right here. So these, when you go through areas like this one, now we're at new territory. You'd really like to see maybe a retest of this area, and we get it right here. But now we're in this down channel, and really you want to see a break and then maybe a test to a new low before you commit to the downside on this one, and we didn't really get it. Commit to a new high to come down. We didn't get it on this grouping here, and because of this overlap, it's really dicey to get it unless, again, unless you can limit in, and your limit in, your target, your stop would have to be probably below this one to be comfortable, or at least this one. But at any one, if you were to limit in, you have to hold it through this, and I don't know who was capable of doing that. I certainly wasn't at the time. Now, it did give you it found traction, it found support, it did give you your 15 ticks, not much more than that. And then when it got to this double top here, double topped here, and then failed. So now this failure. There's a first leg down. You expect to test to a new low, which we got. So we had a break of this channel, test to a new low. This is a one that you could. This is another. Now you're looking at this being the. Let's take a look at it. If you say this is a fairly tight trading range. Maybe a little bit more than a tight trading range, but when price breaks down the bottom, this is really a trap. Now there's room to get out because you don't really have this. I mean, you're maybe expecting another second leg. If you're an aggressive trader, there's room to get out. That's why I marked this one in green, but you can see that there's first pullback to the new low, second pullback, and almost really a third pullback. This really traps some people. It would have given you your 15 ticks, but that's all it would have given you. Again, price retests the double bottoms down here. Pulls back now, gets to the top of this channel. This is really a second entry long, a second entry short right here. Again, I marked this one in green because if you put your stop above this one, and this you're looking for probably another second move down. So your price goes down to here. Like on a bigger picture, if you take a look at first move back, so this is the first pullback, second pullback, and then it establishes it moves out now lower. Kind of overshoots, but I see this as the measured move right here. First move down, pulls back first time, pulls back second time, and another measure move down. And remember, you can have moves within moves. And so, there's the top of this. If you move this up here, you can see the top, you can see the channel. The top of the trading range, visits twice, down, visits again, down, visits again. You expect the failure to be down this direction because the first momentum was here. It doesn't seem like there's much, it's below the EMA, and so it looks like it's too much. There's too much to overcome to get any higher here. We have this move down. Again, we get to this bottom of the channel. We have the first break of it. Really strong bar. And this is really turnaround, but there's really no place to go. Now you could make the argument that this may be like a trap right here, but these are pretty strong bars out of this bottom. It's getting later. It's really close to it's afternoon, so this is things are slowing down. The movements can sometimes be a little bit greater, but if you look at it, if you move it, it does move its way up here. You have this first pullback. You see this new low relief, pulls back even deeper, and here's another one right here. So you can see that this is really a trap. The trading things are going to go lower, and then they snap around. See how it really rockets out of here? Traders expect the momentum to go down further, and a bunch of traders did get trapped there. You just got pulled back right out of it. Even if you look to the left side of the chart here, you see there's capitulation here in the first place. Tried to take it lower, didn't get any lower to here, and it certainly wasn't looking at this target, but then it rebounded really quickly, and you can see that there's, again, another measured move. Price moves up here, and you can see a move within a move. First, pulls back, so you can say this was the first move, or you can say that moves back from the first pullback, second pullback, and then it comes out of here, and you can see another move up to this area. Once it broke this, you can see that broke this double top here, this one and this one, gets up higher to here, traded within the range, hit resistance, turned it back down, couldn't continue this momentum here, and then again moved itself up a little bit higher. And say that this was also a measured move. Price moves up to here, pulls back down to here, fails, pulls back down to here, a little capitulation, but then this is way late in the day. So you can see that there's a number of areas that you could have gotten in. If you got in low enough and you had as long as you get your first 15 chicks off, move it up to break even +1, and then hang on to it, you could probably made some pretty good moves today. So if you look at overall, anywhere from 10 to 12 decent setup, or 8 to 12 setups, you can see that I've marked some of them in green, but 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe this one, 9, 10. So you can see this here. Trading off of this one, particularly, like, look at this bar for an example. It's a pretty strong down bar after this capitulation you think is going to go further. It's a second entry short. First entry, you see off this one, this is the first entry, pulled back, second entry short right here. Whether it's going to go in there, who knows? Hard to really imagine that it might could fail even further. It would have gotten your 15 ticks probably. Let me just see here. Oh yeah, would have maybe just moved it depending on where you got it in there. But as you can see, it turned that this area, double top here, was support, and what was formerly resistance now turns into support. We'll moved up here, and this is later on, but this is way late in the day. Anyway, that's it. Really quick, kind of quick and dirty. Gonna start being on here a little bit more. I found that there's been more requests for it, and I need to. So it'll take a little while for me to get my chops back. So that's 15 minutes. Any questions? Please let me know. I'm on YouTube channel there. You can get in touch with me. I'll let you know. This is Vance. Bye for now.